I believe we all go through those moments where we think about all the what ifs in our life. What if I had all the money in the world? Then what would I do with my time? Or what if I was 1 feet taller? What would I do with my height? Or how much different would life be if I was a professional basketball player or if I was a professional athlete? All these things that come to mind, with all these what ifs. And, even now, that's still something that I still entertain and still think about. And sometimes people even ask me some good what ifs. But I know lately, or at least as I've gotten older, like I start dwelling less and less on the what ifs and just stick to the present. Just really stick to reality, be grateful and appreciative of what's going on in my life, and be very present at where I am in my life and accepting the things that I do have and accepting the person that I am. And it when I do that, I just think less about thinking about all these what if scenarios that might never happen. And if I focus too much on the what ifs, then maybe it makes me less grateful and less appreciative of things that I have now. And so, although it's nice to entertain those thoughts, it can also be a distraction. And it could also take me away from my present state, uh, take me away from what's actually going on in my life right now. And I think when I was younger, that's something I would entertain more, especially because when you are younger, you think more about going forward and think more about your future because you have more aspirations and more dreams, and you're thinking, what if I have this, I have that, then I can become this and I can become that. And yeah, it's more appealing for you to just entertain those thoughts, entertain on the what ifs, in hopes of having your dreams come true. But now that a lot of that youth aspiration has gone aside, and a lot of things that I pursued and a lot of things that have happened in my life have already happened, so many, and I've experienced life in so many different ways and learned so much with the time that I had in my life. I've come to just accept the things that have happened and focus less on the what ifs. And maybe you could get caught up in a place where you are older and you look back and you think about, what if I did this and I did that, then I would have gone this path or this would have happened. But maybe if you dwell on the what ifs so much, it becomes less about acceptance of things that have already happened. So I've learned to accept that everything in my life has happened for a reason. And I accept all the cards that have been dealt to me in my life, with the family that I've been given with my surroundings of where I grew up, and also the friends and the people that I've come across. Like, I've just learned to accept it and just appreciate all the things that have happened and all the things, the good and the bad, that has happened. It happened for a reason, and it made me into the person that I am today. And I feel like I try to take all those lessons and all those experiences and draw a lot of good out of it, and draw and use that for me to grow as a person and make me a better person. And when I've done that, it made me think less about the what ifs, and it just it doesn't really matter to me anymore because it's not reality. The what ifs and the hypothetical situations are just it's not reality. It hasn't happened and it probably won't happen. So to me, it becomes a waste of time just dwelling on it and thinking about it. Although it is nice to daydream, here and there. And even now, it's something I think about. And one of the what ifs that I think about is something that I mentioned earlier is like, if I had all the money in the world, if money wasn't an issue, what would I utilize my time doing? Would I still continue to do the things that I am doing right now? And that's one of the what ifs that I actually talked about in a previous video. And that's something you could go back to find out my answer. But that's a good one because it really reveals like what it is that I value doing with like my life or with my time. What do I want to really allocate my time doing if money wasn't really an issue? And I think maybe there wouldn't be too many changes with my life if money wasn't the issue. But that's besides the point. Um, I just think if I just focus on what if this and what if that, then that again, it's just taking away from the present and appreciating what I have right now. And I just rather just focus on reality rather than focusing on fantasy because I've done that many times, and a lot of times when I do fantasize about things, it doesn't really come into reality anyway. It's just pretty much me daydreaming. And although it is nice to daydream here and there, I've come to appreciate that just me being in reality, focus on what's in front of me, is something I've grown to accept and appreciate more and more as I've gotten older. And then just having acceptance of the things that have happened and approaching that with a lot of gratitude has made me a much happier and more at peace with my life. So, although dwelling on the what ifs might be nice, it might be nice time to just daydream and think about. I think it's okay to not be so focused on the what ifs and just appreciate on what is and what was and maybe what will happen. But then the thing is if you think about what will happen that may drift you off on the what if or yeah, dwelling on the what ifs. But again, like it's just good for me to accept things for what they are and to continue to live life in things that are real to me.